Probably enable that. Whoops. Uh-oh. Needs All right, let's see. We already
Hey Clay. Hey, regarding NFP, I was just wondering, what are some of the things that you were looking at to confirm that the numbers were going to be positive for the dollar?
Gotcha. All right, cool. So first things first, look at the DXY. This is usually a good indication of what's about to happen. So I looked at the daily on the DXY, both on TradingView and on, both on TradingView and on FinViz. And at the time, right before NFP, the first thing I noticed was we had 3 pushes to the low, right? And I mean, if you drew an imaginary trend line, it was going to about intersect somewhere around here, right? So that was one clue. And then also looking at this data right here, large traders and small traders both were really starting to sort of pick up on the dollar around this time. Like around the time, like if you look zoomed in, move this real quick. If you look at the hour chart, you see that small traders and large traders were both really digging this dollar, right? They're really digging this dollar, and they're starting to pick up more positions as time went by. Don't worry about hedgers. Are usually up to something. They're usually scheming. They're waiting for this to draw down.
You usually just look at the red and the blue one, the large and the small traders?
Yeah, usually the large and the small traders are the most important. The hedge funds are usually wrong. So, like commercial hedgers are usually wrong. That being said, they usually plan for the future. Like they're probably looking at this. They're looking at this right here, right? And what they're doing is waiting for this to kind of make an M, which will probably happen in about a year or so. That makes that makes sense. The problem is that most of the hedge funds did this way too early. So then this is one clue. Basically, if you just did technical analysis on the DXY, let me pull it up on TradingView because I already did it there. Wow, this was pretty accurate. Like, no wonder we made money on the first round of buys before the drop. Cool. Let's see. So TradingView is kind of like, wow, this is pretty accurate too. I'll be damned. All right, cool. So, shit, I did a lot better than I thought I did. Cool. So, okay. On TradingView, it only shows you the daily intervals and everything, but this is still considered, for some reason, a long-term sell on the DXY. Most traders are pessimistic on the dollar. Yes, I am. I'm recording this. So, as I was saying, most traders are pessimistic against the dollar because they're still not buying. They're still not necessarily buying the fact that we're in recovery to an extent. You can't hear me?
I can hear you.
Seems like everybody else could hear me. Anyway.
I can hear you, buddy.
Okay, so just like any other pair or index or anything, you can literally do tech analysis the same way on every single thing, whether it's a currency basket index or a you can do it on anything. It's the same concept. So like I was kind of saying earlier, I'm sort of expecting retraces on USD pairs because it hit the former resistance, which it did. It'll push it back up some and then go back down because it's close to this trend line, and it'll probably form an M, and that's mostly because of sentiment and technical analysis. Also, what a better rebuy point for this to eventually break out past this trend line that's holding it down than September, which is when everyone's expecting the the FOMC to raise rates. So this was what I did last week before NFP, and now let's go ahead and follow up with that. It probably, I'm not sure if it goes this low anymore. It probably does this instead throughout the next coming days. Until September. We'll probably do that. Then from here, it'll probably test this resistance at which the DXY flipped hard. So it'll probably do that. And then wick past it and come back down. Test again. This former resistance, we'll test it to see if it's support, like right here. And then come back up.
The elections are going to affect the dollar?
What's up?
How do you think the elections are going to affect the dollar?
Most likely a rise in dollar pairs, because everyone's going to be promising recovery, change, good stuff, good feelings. Oh, well, yay, a new person's coming in. He's going to fix everything. He or she's going to fix everything. So, like, sentiment will be high for the dollar during the elections. That's probably how that's going to end up happening.
If the dollar pair goes up, does AUD USD go down? I assume it would, right?
To an extent, yes. The question, though, is folks have to remember that the dollar is not the only, like, the U.S. is not the only party that's playing the world. Like, we still are dealing with, we're still dealing with problems in other countries as well. And that's the biggest misconception. Like, everyone automatically assumes, oh, okay, well, the U.S. is doing good, all anti-dollar pairs are going to die, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. No, that's definitely not true.
I learned that on NFP.
Well, Parth, the elections will look good. However, the extent of how far the election rallies go really depends on what each person is promising. So before she gets elected, it'll probably push up, and then when she reminds everyone what's coming, then it'll probably go back down. Like I said, it kind of depends on who wins. But before the election, everyone's going to be promising, yes, we're going to fix this, fix that, blah, 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 blah. So it's probably going to have a good effect on the dollar initially. Does that make sense, Parth? Yeah. Like, everyone has it's kind of like in stocks, how they used to say you buy on the rumor and sell on the news. Well, the elections that are going on right now are the rumor. That's why the dollar is pumping. Plus, with what happened to England and with what Japan's doing, what better time to do it than now? To start pumping the dollar pairs up. That makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Did someone ask a question, or was that background noise?
Yeah, that was me, Clay. It's Jason Wetton. I can't seem to get DXY on my broker from Forex Trader Inc. Forex Broker Inc.
Some brokers don't allow you to. They don't allow you to trade indexes. Not all of them will. Like, for instance,
okay.
I wanted to trade this index right here, but I can't because it's not on Forex Broker Inc.
Yeah, it doesn't look like I can. Well, yeah, MIB. What the hell is the Italian MIB? That's like Men in Black, bro.
Anyway, where was I? So someone asked, what's the view on gold? How convenient it bounced near a trend line and near a support. How fascinating. This is probably where I get crucified if I'm wrong, because I know everybody. I'm sure some of y'all sold right here, right? Some of y'all sold right here and are expecting it just to like do this, something like this over the term. You are probably expecting something like that, but whoops. Wait, who? I thought I disabled that. I guess I didn't. That's okay. I don't have any. There's no dick drawing. God damn it! As soon as I say, like literally the second I say that, it happens. So probably what ends up happening is it'll probably do something like this. Draw a ninja. Oh, Pokeball, that's close enough. Then from there, who knows? Like, y'all have to understand that this, basically is what I'm expecting to. Like, everyone says that this is going to go back to support. I highly doubt that it's going to do that anytime soon. And that's not only because of the pattern, but also because of fundamentals as well. Asia is still playing games with people. They're going to be moving all over the equity markets, causing chaos because that's how they're making money. They're about to pull out of the U.S. market in about maybe a week or so. That'll cause gold to go up. So it'll probably, more than anything from what I see, is going to do something like this. It'll probably pull up to about 1350 or 1352, somewhere around there. Then it'll probably come back down again. And then after that, it'll kind of do this mess. Something like that. Because we have to look here at these blocks. You have to look right here at these support and resistances. This is kind of where I'm basing my attack from. So essentially, that's why I said 1350 or 1352. I'm not necessarily sure because they'll either attack this, they'll either attack that one, or they'll attack this one. Around there. Does that make sense? There's a reason why, like, some of my students and I are on buys, and I think this goes according to plan. For some reason, everyone assumes that this M is going to form fully, and then do like that. And I highly doubt that happens like that. Highly doubt that happens like that. If it doesn't, well, sue me. So, but we have. I'm really digging it. Like, I'm sitting over here drawing with a trackpad going super slow, and this person's just like doodling all over the place with his finger. I'm kind of jealous at what you're using because it's so much faster. Basically, the warning I gave folks was if you didn't sell on the M for NFP, you're kind of playing yourself, honestly. Well, I mean, that's why we bought at 1313 the last time, because the zone intersects from this downtrend, and all of these trend lines from way back here, they all intersected at this point. That's a pretty strong support, so I can kind of see why people think it's going to go back there and form a W, but there's also a reason why it keeps bouncing off this trend line every single time it gets there. And also, we still have problems in the world. Everyone acts like just because America looks good, that doesn't mean the rest of the world looks good either. These nuts.
Sorry, so you sold? Are you saying you should have sold? I was just in the bathroom.
See, a lot of folks think that this will head straight to 1313 because it's a daily M. I'm not so sure I agree, because looking left, this is a pretty strong support. Pretty strong support. Like, throughout the entire thing. It's tested times. So I highly doubt that it goes all the way to 1313. That being said, there's a chance that this could possibly drop down to about maybe like 1328, but I doubt it. Because, I mean, look what you're dealing with. I swear, this person's like literally moving faster than I am. You're dealing with all of this right here, which is what I was telling my students the other day, that like, this is heavily contested. This is heavily contested. All of this is heavily contested. More than likely, what ends up happening is this resistance, this over resistance becomes support. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah.
This
So,
drawing really tripping me out. I really like it. No, you know what? I'm gonna let y'all doodle on this for a while. Y'all go to town. Y'all are having a lot of fun.
What would you say is the outlook for gold? Like, if it's going down, what price is it going to hit? Not price, but basically what to look for to say if it's going further down, or what to look for to say it's going up, based off what you just did, like support.
I mean, my personal opinion is that this is going to go up and test this block right here at 50 or 50. But I mean, because So basically, the doodler, whoever that is, it kind of agrees with what I'm thinking. More than anything, you're attacking high probability. Like I keep saying, you're attacking here. If this does drop for whatever, I think the lowest drop is 1328, which is where it's not just a monthly support, but it's also, I mean, if you look left, like literally this is contested this entire time so many times. Like all of this right here. And if you zoom out even further, like if you go back to the weekly or the monthly, you look in here. How convenient that this point is tested over and over and over again. Like this keeps being tested literally over and over and over again. Even right here. Oops. No, dang it, this is being recorded. Don't do that. I swear to God. Like, this literally keeps being tested over and over again. Alrighty, guys. I've had fun, but I'm going to have to disable that for now. I mean, if you didn't buy it, if you hadn't bought already, I probably wouldn't unless this gaps down, which I don't really think it gaps down. I think it gaps in the same spot. I'm not really sure, to be honest. But you know, if you buy, if it's around 1336 and you buy, factor in your money a possible drop to 1328 as far as your risk management goes. But I'm pretty sure it's not gonna. I'm not so sure it goes down there like everyone thinks it will. At least not yet. Anywho.
And why did NFP drive gold down? Like it was supposed to drive everything up, and it drove gold down. That was unexpected.
No. That was normal because NFP was bullish, so gold's going to go down because.
Oh right, USD.
It was like no, that stuck to the plan. That went about as expected. Plus, if you looked at it from a technical standpoint, it was magical how this magically formed an M on the daily, and on the 4 hour, it magically formed an M. So the markets, if you don't know anything about fundamentals, about a good 85% of the time, the markets will already tell you what the big events are about to be. That makes sense.
Cool.
Yeah,
it does.
That's usually a good hint. Like for example, the pound rate cut. We figured it out way in advance using fundamentals. Like, if all you did was watch the market for about maybe 10 minutes or so before the event, you have seen that it was trying to drive up to an arbitrary resistance for some reason, and that's what a lot of us sold because it was the fake move, you know?
I don't know. I'm going to find out, but probably not very expensive.
All right, Nathan. Hold on, buddy. I'm going to have to let you finish your call on mute. Where are you? Sorry, buddy.
What?
Just gonna hit this button again, and boom. All right, cool. Let's see. I think I saw a question earlier for USD CAD or something like that. Let me see if I read that correctly. If we want in on CAD, where is a good place to get back in at? That's okay, bro. USD CAD will be affected by both oil and gold. So I mean, there's going to be some wishy-washy going on with it, but more than likely a high probability attack point. A high probability attack point will be anywhere between like 1.312 or 1.314. It'll probably retrace back down to there and then go up. That's a high probability zone. Lowest drop possible would be like 1.31 or 1.308. You can get in anywhere between like either does some shit like this where it bounces up off of this contested Like it'll test to see if this resistance comes support. If it breaks, you can probably buy a little bit lower. This is a pretty big block. This is a pretty big block. Like this whole region right here. This whole region that you see in this square. That's a pretty big block to try to break, considering that we just had a huge bullish stick on a bottom that's come out of that. So, I mean, more than anything, there's a good chance that it just does that and then goes boom. Like I said, I kind of expected to do something like this, kind of come up, back again, and then go boom, and then go boom, something like that. If there is an M, Parth, if there is an M, like I said, it probably will do this, and come back up, and then come back down, come here, and then continue. Yes. All right, you have a good one, bro. See, the thing about it is the oil bulls are looking strong, but at the same time, you're also dealing with gold. See, like I said, UCAD is a very fascinating pair to attack because the simple fact that it's not only affected by oil, it's also affected by gold. So you're balancing the economics of both of those. That's the problem. And then we also know that no matter what happens, like regardless of what goes on, the patterns will complete as they need to. Like the market will find a way to make sure that this completes. It will find a way. They always do. And right now, the bulls on UCAD are not willing to give this up. They will not give that up. I was about to say that too. Like, Canada doesn't really have that much going on for them. Like, just being straight up, their exports are not the strongest. They rely on oil too much. I mean, like maple syrup. I mean, Canada is kind of weak too. Even though they raised rates or whatever, there's not a whole lot going on for them. The U.S. by far has much more than they do. How do we know when it's completed a pattern? Well, buddy, when we take profit, that is when it completed the pattern as far as I'm concerned. Wait, there's another question. Yeah, I know, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad, Parth. Like, Canada doesn't really have much, guys. They might have some recovery, but it's going to be a while before they figure out what they're going to do. So, like, whether it's gold or oil or Canada, this will complete the pattern one way or another. That's kind of why sometimes the whole correlating pair argument isn't necessarily the most effective per se, because not every correlating pair will correlate 100% all the time. It's kind of up to you to figure out what pair is correlating with what. And USD CAD is a very contested one because you're dealing with Canadian economics, you're dealing with oil, and you're dealing with gold, and you're dealing with the dollar. That's 4 factors right there. With USD Mexican, you're dealing with the dollar and you're dealing with gold. Those 2 things will affect that. So, like, for instance, a lot of USD Mexican sellers are expecting the downward push to go down more because they're expecting gold to go up at least some. Let's see. Who is Justin Trudeau? Oh, duh. You're, yeah, he is. I forgot about who that was, but yeah. Wait, you're in Canada? I didn't know that, Tristan. I thought you were like. Honestly, I don't know where you are.
Yeah, dude, I'm in Canada.
Oh, you and Pierre ought to go meet one day, and he can yell at you. Well, I didn't say that. So,
yeah, dude, our economy is pretty shit right now, dude.
Yeah, there's not really much to it. Like, I'm just being honest. I hate to tell you that, buddy.
Well, oil's supposed to go up within like the end of the next year, but we'll see.
We'll see. Well, I mean,
Well,
I'm pretty sure.
if you look on the like the daily, you can see an Elliott wave theory, right? So it'll complete a pattern that way, right?
Yes, that's. I mean, we have several different confirmations, whether it's Elliott waves, a stupid shape, an arbitrary shape that's formed, what's going on with the dollar, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's like multiple forms of confirmation. This is the one pair that's a lot more solid than the others. Like if you're looking at USD JPY, for instance.
Well, UCAD moves really nice.
It does, which is why wrong chart. Which is why like I really the last 2 weeks have been trying to get everyone to hit UCAD because it's a lot more predictable. It moves a lot smoother, and even when there's like batshit crazy news or something, it still fits the pattern nicely. And right now we're just going through a chop phase until it escapes out of it, and the buyers are winning. It's that simple. As you can clearly see, zoomed out, the buyers are winning.
Yeah, I got burned on UJ like last week, man. On that fake news.
Don't pay attention to this. This was me mocking what I saw a bunch of signal services said 2 weeks ago. Yeah, that definitely didn't happen. Ignore this drawing. In fact, I was aiming for 100, and I'm kind of disappointed it didn't make it quite down there. Almost did.
Question.
What's up?
I feel like the market makers are just gonna have so much fun with this because like it just looks like one sexy ass chart.
Right, bro. Like,
so like I'm learning market maker method, but like I'm just
man, I was almost done. Anyway,